常对不起，我上课的时候我早点来，所以我有时间拍我的电脑。今天呢，我们没有那个机会。While you get to watch my screen come out, I'll take this opportunity to say that I feel both grateful and honored and fortunate to be in the presence of so many both inspired and inspiring Chinese language teachers. And I feel that I've really learned a lot already in a day and a half of the conference. And so I hope that having met some of you and talked to some of you about teaching, that we continue to interact and share ideas. This is an absolutely wonderful venue for sharing ideas. This is mutual learning. 互相学习. This is what we want our students to do, right? We should set the model and learn from each other and share these things. So, Yao Lao Shi and Liu Lao Shi and everyone else here, I feel so lucky to be able to learn from you. Oh, right now I have to put my password. This will take a long time too. My computer needs to be upgraded. So I teach usually first and second year Chinese at UC Davis, and sometimes I also teach Chinese literature classes. And what I found with teaching Chinese language is that I wanted to break away from rote practice as much as possible. I want to focus on communication. I want to keep the meaning together with the characters, together with the sound of the words. I want to keep those three joined together without using English, without having students simply do a lot of repeat after me, without have students just reading from the book. All of those things, reading text from the book, that's a useful thing. They need to do that, but they also need to be able to generate their own sentences. Now, we're not going to let so when I first began teaching, I had we were using PCR, and I would introduce vocabulary and sentence patterns and maybe put a sentence pattern on the board and try to have them do the practice. They need to beginning students need to reinforce the patterns. They have to. You have to generate the same kind of sentence many times on their own before they can really use it. So sometimes I had them read from the book, and I don't like that. Sometimes I would say the word in Chinese and they would do a substitution. They can do that without even knowing what they're saying, right? You know, 我喜欢吃饺子, and then I would say 家乡豆腐. Okay, 我喜欢吃家乡豆腐. Okay. Who knows what it means? So, so then I thought, okay, students these days are very much oriented towards visual learning. And studies have been done that show that there's a difference between when we were students, and we won't talk about how long ago we were students, that 20 years ago maybe, people were more linear thinkers, were more auditory learners, and today's students, once they need something fast, they want to see it, and that's how they will comprehend. So then I got a color printer and I started printing out lots and lots of pictures. So I have many folders of pictures, and I would hold up the picture. So this way, I'm not saying the English, I'm not having them simply repeat after me, I'm not having them read it from the book. I really like what Jin Lao Shi said this morning about the Taito Shi, you know. Look up, not look down, while you're in the classroom. So how can I really overcome this? It got to be very messy, having all those pictures on paper. And I have lots of folders, and the right picture was never in the right folder, and I spent too much time shuffling around through all these pictures. So I came up with this thing which I call PowerPoint picture drill, although I don't really like the word drill. Now, here are my goals. I wanted mutual reinforcement of material across activities. So I wanted what they read for I wanted the homework assignments to complement the in-class activities and have many different channels for getting at the same material. This sort of goes into my overall curriculum design, which makes fairly heavy use of online activities as well. I wanted to accommodate various learning styles. I wanted to enrich the input so that they can't lose the meaning, right? But I didn't want to be speaking English in the classroom. I wanted students to participate actively, not just sit back there passively trying to learn while they're falling asleep, okay? And I really wanted to let pedagogy drive the technology, not the other way around. It's so important.